And we're live. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is the Creatia Conversation, the number one source for all that nerd-ish news on Pornhub. Today is January 13th, 2023. Friday the 13th, by the way.
It is.
I am your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. DHNIC. And I'm joined once again today by my co-host, the Warden Matt Ritter. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I listened to yesterday's episode, so I've got some stuff to talk about with you. First and foremost, what everyone was waiting. Well, maybe I should wait till some people roll in the chat before I talk about the Ghost Adventures, because I know Amani wanted an update. So
yes,
I'll at least wait till she says hi before I give that update. But the Vince McMahon stuff, I heard you and Vince talking about it, and there's some stuff I wanted to clarify. So
sure.
Back in December of 2022, Vince sent a letter to the board saying, "Hey, I feel like I got some bad advice, guys. I kind of want to come back." And the board, which features, you'll get an update, Vince. Hold on. Nick Khan, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H, as well as a bunch of other people, sent a note back saying, we unanimously decided that's a bad fucking idea. And should you try to come back, and the reason they said it was a bad idea was because there is information that they have that has not been made public about Vince McMahon that could be both detrimental to Vince and the company, apparently. And they said that by him coming back, it would shine a spotlight on that. And should he try to force his way back on the board, they were going to sue him, which was what you guys talked about. And I believe that has to do with SEC filings and business practices and things like that. Also, mind you, everyone on that board who unanimously voted to tell Vince, no, don't come back, and then he just did it anyway, has been fired from the board except for Nick Khan and Triple H, or resigned, I should say. Like, Steph resigned. She actually just got her ankle fixed today as well. But, like,
I saw that, yeah.
That entire board that's like, no, Vince, don't come back. It's a bad idea. We don't want you. They're all gone now, Travis. He got rid of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't deny it's a shitty thing to do. My question was, is it really illegal for him to do it?
I don't think that board members would be suing him for something if it wasn't actually illegal in some sort of basis. There's some sort of business practice, or
you don't think people would throw out a lawsuit frivolously even if they don't think they can win?
Not a board of director against Vince McMahon. He's got some of the best lawyers in the country. He's hidden fucking murder investigations and sexual assault allegations for fucking hundreds of years. Like,
true, but there's also the fact that if they can
money.
Get him to settle, they still get a win out of it.
Maybe, but he's not settling if he's going to win. You know, if he didn't do anything wrong, he's not going to settle.
I mean, there's plenty of times when people haven't done anything wrong, but they just settled just because it's easier.
Maybe. But the whole board threatened to sue Vince. Now, one person has gone through with it, but like, it was a unanimous, hey, this is what's going on. If you do this, we will sue you.
Yeah, if only one person does it, it's not a legit threat. So, if a whole board does it, you got to take it seriously. That's
exactly. All. And he didn't anyway, and he came and did his shit. But there's that. So anyway, Amani's still not here, but Vince is. He's been here for 6 hours waiting for this stream. We appreciate you, Vince. All right. So after we finished the show on Wednesday, I went back to the new house.
Okay.
This time my mom was there. She's like, oh yeah, no, everything's been cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. So I go up in the garage attic and I turn the light on, and there's that wall that I did not go look behind that has a little hole up top. So I walk over there. I call Kate this time. I got her on video phone so like she can see. And like at first I put the phone up there so like she can look in there. Cause like she's safe through the phone, you know, so she can tell me if she sees anything. And she doesn't really say anything. So then I look in there, and all it is a bunch of insulation and like a board going through the insulation, like regular attic. I don't really know why that wall is there or what it is, but there were no signs of people living above our house or anything like that. Everything is cool. I don't know if I've told you this. I know we've talked about it. Kate talked about it on her Inside the Mind of, but like this house is haunted, the one that we're in now.
Okay.
Like, but it's not it's not like a malicious ghost. Like he's not opening cabinets and dropping knives and stacking chairs and shit. Like if you sit in my living room occasionally and infrequently enough for it to not be a car driving by, out of your peripheral, you will see a shadow pass through the kitchen in front of a window that's like directly in your peripheral.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a car, it would happen way more often. And the window's far enough up the driveway where I don't think it's lights from a car. We've both seen it. I think it took us a while to both talk to each other about it because we thought we were fucking crazy.
Just don't acknowledge it. And, maybe it'll go away.
We finally did talk about it and realized we both seen it, but we've been here for 7 years. Nothing has happened. Everything's cool. Also, on occasion, there'll be times where I'm in the house and I feel like I'm not by myself when I'm in a room by myself. But again, the ghost doesn't do anything. So my thought is,
like somebody's watching me.
As long as the new house ghost is Casper the motherfucking friendly ghost, like I have here at this house, then I'm cool with it. Because like he did say hello. Yeah. My mom thinks it was the neighbors in the backyard. She said that she was in the breezeway working, painting and stuff, and she could hear the neighbors in the backyard talking like clear as day from where she was at. So she thinks maybe someone walked out in the backyard, said hello for some reason, maybe was answering a phone call or something. I'm like, yeah, but I was there long enough to where I feel like I would have heard more of a conversation.
You would have heard more than just hello. Yeah.
Like I went outside and looked for somebody first before I said, fuck this, packed up, not doing stupid white people shit, and then went back and did stupid white people shit. But like, I feel like I would have heard more of the conversation if that was the case, because the hello felt so close to me, like enough to send a chill down my spine. I will say this though. We have been at that house every day. If it's not me, it's Kate, my dad, or my mom. Never once when I've been in that house have I had an eerie, unsafe feeling or anything that was like, this isn't a room I should be in, or like none of that bad vibe shit. Mm-hmm. The only time I have that is when I go in the garage attic, but it's not like something bad happened here. It's just, I don't like fucking nature in my house, like squirrels and rats and raccoons and shit. And I go up there worried that I'm going to be like face to face with a fucking raccoon or a possum or something. So it's that feeling, especially because like there's that little chewed out hole. The people used to keep squirrels in the house, like for whatever reason. I don't know. They were weird white people. I can't explain it. However, so like that is like the uneasy feeling I get. But
nature doesn't make me uneasy, but it can be pretty damn disrespectful. Like place we used to live in, there were a lot of cats around, and their neighbors who would feed the cats and all that, which is why they stayed around and kept coming back and shit. There was this one cat all the time who used to go in our backyard specifically to take a shit and then leave. It would go in our backyard, take a shit, and then hop over the fence and leave. I'm like, there was a day I know it was this same cat, because I saw it through the window one time and also saw it one day when I was cutting the grass, looked me dead in the eye, took a shit, and then left.
Yeah, see, I don't mind like if I see somebody with a dog, like as long as they're like, oh, it's cool, I'll go up, I'll pet their dog, hi, whatever. I don't like wild nature. And again, being in my house, and especially anything that's of a rodent family or what, because I know like technically possums aren't rodents and raccoons aren't rodents.
Close enough.
But they're fucking semi-vicious wild animals. Like a mother possum will attack the shit out of you protecting its babies if it has babies up in your fucking attic. So like, and they're ugly as fuck. Like if you find possums cute, you have something wrong with you, because they are not. Those are ugly ass fucking animals.
They're giant rats. All right, I don't care what you all want to call them. What they're like, oh, they're marsupials. Well, no, that's a fucking rat.
And then same thing with raccoons. Like I hear that they can be very vicious, but I've also learned an easy way to dispense of raccoons. So, okay. So yeah, that I will let you know once we get moved in and we've spent more time there. If like cabinet doors, because like we don't have any cabinet doors in the kitchen, so you can't open them. Like we're painting them right now to put them on because the dude that had the house before us tore them all off. So like cabinet doors start opening or like knives start falling on the floor. Shit, like if crazy shit starts happening, I will update the Creatia universe. But as for now, as far as I know, and I am not taking a Ouija board in that house because I'm not fucking stupid. If there is a ghost, he is a polite, friendly ghost who said hello, and that is the extent of it.
Okay. That I don't know if I told you this. You know, Kobe got one of those Ouija board rugs.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I said. That face you made when I said it. Yeah, that's what I said.
Just like I give Kate shit because I joke about it. Like we'll watch movies and I'm like, it's made by fucking Hasbro. Like it's not real. Like if you find one up in the attic, that's different than buying one and bringing it in the house and using it. But at the same time, that's just me giving her shit. Like I'm not really gonna fuck around. Like I don't care if it's a rug or not. Like I'm not bringing anything to contact evil spirits or any sort of spirits into my home and open a gateway because I've watched way too many horror movies to know what happens once you do that. Fucking in the second Conjuring movie, which I will be talking about this weekend, I believe Sunday, with botch spots and chair shots, not just the whole Conjuring universe. They drew one on a piece of fucking paper and it still fucking worked. Like, no, I'm good.
I get it. I don't want no parts of it either. I told him he better not ever get a Roomba. Just
could you imagine the room just spelling shit out? This is not even turned on. It's just
exactly.
Like,
exactly. Oh, it just moves around on its own. It just spells "get out" on your rug.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh boy. Speaking of updates from previous shows, though, I checked out Velma on HBO Max. First of all, the new shower locker room scene wasn't really that. They were naked, but they were always covered, like little like soap bubbles and all that kind of shit kind of thing. It was just like,
so no nipples like Big Mouth.
No,
because like Big Mouth has shown some shit that I did not.
And the insides of shit,
yeah,
and literal shit.
Okay, like, I'm watching Big Mouth and I'm like, okay. Growing up, Travis, you and I think, can both admit that there were certain cartoon characters that we found attractive and would have liked to see drawn naked, like Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Big Mouth was not that show. Like when I saw cartoon nipples, it was not what I was remembering, expecting, and hoping for from a child, from like my childhood. So yeah, it's not hentai. Let's put it that way.
At all. But yeah, so that was the thing. I am, how can I put this? I'm not necessarily looking forward to the next episode.
Okay.
But next week I'll probably watch it.
Okay.
It's catching me at a good time where there's like not a lot that's going to take my attention away from it anyway. And well, like something to watch. All right, cool. I'll turn it on. I'm not upset about watching it. It's not one of those things that I watch it. We can just be like, oh, this is so dumb.
I'm kind of sad Vince isn't here because I wanted to give him shit because I'm listening to you guys while I'm taking a shower, literally to that part. Like I have not finished the episode yet, but I think I'm just past that part. I heard him talking.
You said you were in the shower?
Yeah, I listen to you guys in the shower.
Oh.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of podcasts in the shower. To be honest, if you're listening to this show, if you're listening to this show right now and you know that I listen to your podcast, I'm either naked in the shower or driving my car if I'm listening to you. One of the two. And I might be naked driving my car. So there's a very good chance I'm naked listening to you at some point.
Okay.
But I wanted to give Vince shit because he sounded like all those angry 45-year-old white men on Reddit who were like, they made Daphne Asian and they made Mindy Kaling Indian and they made Shaggy black and changed his name. And I don't know if I like me personally, I don't give a fuck. But And I know Vince, that's not what Vince meant, but I wanted to give
Yeah,
him
that's what I know,
because
but it can sound like that if you wanted to.
kind of like when he said that D'Lo Brown wasn't world champion material and I called him a racist.
Mhm.
Like that shit. So
Yeah, it was just one of those things to me, like you said, just I don't care. It was when I'm watching them, like they wanted to be a bit more inclusive, so they, changed what the characters look like, race wise, and they have actors playing people of that race. Makes sense to me. Don't change the story, really. So let's just watch the shit. Yes, we'll get to that. We will get to that. Yes.
I think Vince is a little laggy because we've been off that ghost for a while. I literally just joked about him being a racist, so we'll see when that comment comes in. Middle finger or something. But yeah.
We're definitely gonna get to that Wizards of the Coast stuff. Actually, you know what? We can go ahead and get into that now. Newsy time. Let's go. Since it's actually been asked about now, I can go ahead and talk about that. So, those of you who have been following this whole OGL shit that's been happening, Wizards of the Coast has been very eerily silent for a while when all this has been going on, and people are just like, "Yo, this is fucked up. We're not doing this shit. What are you doing?" And people are fighting back. All these, like a lot of different people that we used to, but still produce D&D content and all that kind of stuff, are like getting together about creating their own systems and putting together their own open gaming license that won't be, tied up like the new OGL was supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. They were actually supposed to put out a statement yesterday, and they didn't say anything. But then they released a statement today. It was actually on D&D Beyond. Let's see. It looks like, said it was put up 2 hours ago. So, like, right before we're getting ready to start the show up and I was putting stuff together, I'm like, oh, update, because this is going to be a completely different story. It was going to be about all the people that started their own shit. But they put out this statement. So, I'm going to read it here. Sit back, it's a little lengthy. I'm going to read the whole thing. Typically with these things, I don't read the whole article because I want you to go and read it yourself and give the people who wrote it credit and all that kind of stuff. This is Wizards of the Coast and D&D Beyond, so I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
I read it while I was pooping earlier.
So
I read it while I was pooping earlier, so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read it for everybody. So, here we go. When we initially conceived a revising of the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. First of all, bullshit. That is not why you did this. We know this is not why you did this. You don't care, but you start with stuff like that to make people think, oh, this is what people care about. We'll throw this in there and they'll, feel a little sympathy and get on our side. No, that's not how this works, because I know that's bullshit. Like, if you're making money off of it, I know you don't care. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. As someone who scours the internet for D&D stuff all the time, I have never seen shit like that. Yeah. That's what this is. So Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs, I have not seen any of that shit. So if it does exist, it's gaining no traction and nobody's really making anything off of it. One of those few instances where capitalism actually works. All right. Like, nobody is paying that shit any attention. Why are you even worried about it? And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the home brewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. What major corporations are doing this?
Without licensing it through D&D.
My thing is, only thing that we've seen, the people that have been very successful are people like Cobalt Press and Critical Role and all that kind of shit. Thing is, they're not major corporations. They started small and grew by actually putting in the work. You know, the thing that people claim that they do all the time, they actually did that shit. Critical Role actually is sponsored by D&D Beyond. Like, they're not doing this without you. Like, there's nothing huge that's happening. You're trying to prevent things that aren't happening. Like, you're claiming to try to prevent things that aren't happening. Put it that way. Driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job is to be good stewards of the game. And two, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. So they just think we didn't read the shit. Because if you actually read the shit, yeah, it wavered the fuck. Like, saying that you never put this out because it's just like it wasn't done yet. We just wanted feedback and all that kind of stuff. I'll get to that part. But it's just, are you kidding me? This only works on people who didn't really read the document. The problem is the people who are upset are the type of people who will read that whole document. So we know what it said. Anyway, that is why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. But you put the language in there anyway, knowing that you could use it that way if you wanted to. And if history tells us anything, at some point, Hasbro, yes, you will. Like, it's what happens. So yes, this is why people were upset, because we don't fucking trust you. You've given us no reason to. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a 1. No shit. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while still staying true to our principles. So here's what we are doing. The next OGL will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build and specify that it covers only content for tabletop RPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable companies, live streams, cosplay, virtual tabletop uses, etc., will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0A will also remain unaffected. What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It also will not include the license back provision that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work, because it was. It's 100% what it was. That thought never crossed our minds. Yes, it did. Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. The license back language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. As we continue to invest in the game that we love and move forward with partnerships in film, television, and digital games, that risk is simply too great to ignore. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game special, and that belongs to you. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today because we need to make sure we get it right. But it is coming. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. First of all, fuck you. Like, if that ain't the most, you know how sometimes I'll say shit just fucking with people? You know, it's like,
No,
technically, yeah, technically I won too because blah, 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 some random weird shit that really doesn't make any sense, but it's funny as fuck for me to say, so I enjoy doing it. That's what that sounded like. It was just some petty shit. It's like, hey, well, we won too. You didn't really win. Like, yeah, whatever. But anyway, our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. The drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. We realize we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted players and the creators who take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. Too late for that. But at least you fucking said something. Granted, it was bullshit, but you said something. You didn't just ignore it and hope it went away because you really had no choice. Thing is, they were starting to lose money because all these people who were subscribed on D&D Beyond, you know, people like me who actually put money into the shit, also use content from other third-party creators. You know, it's kind of what we do. We use it all. We don't just use your shit. So the thing is, people stopped, ended their subscriptions on D&D Beyond and said, you know what? Fuck it. Cancel that shit. I'll go elsewhere. Too many of those were happening. Like, we got to do something about it. So they had to say something.
I still have D&D Beyond. I'm just looking. I'm still, for probably over a year now, level 3 Tiefling Warlock.
Yeah, but you don't have a paid subscription.
That's true.
I give them money every year. Me giving them money every year is what allows you to use the stuff that I've bought.
I think you actually wanted to change the kind of warlock that I was, or alter it. I don't remember. We talked about it. You had me do intro videos, and then we never talked about it again. Just disappeared.
We're gonna do it.
They are D-bags.
It's just taking some time. They are. They are. Fucking Hasbro. But yeah, they put that statement out today. Means absolutely nothing to me right now, really, because you're still updated, still putting out something new. So until I see what that new one is, I don't trust it at all. I don't know what they were hoping to accomplish with this. Actually, I do know. I hope they were hoping to subdue the noise. Problem is, this is probably just going to make more. So we'll see what happens. And I know that went on for a while, folks. It was a lot, but I had things to say.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Yes, yes. But yeah.
I bought a PlayStation 5 yesterday.
Nice, nice. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, it's been forever, and literally there was only one place that fucking had them.
Really? I was told the shortage was over.
So I looked at GameStop. There were none available near any of the GameStops near me. I looked at Target. All the Targets said they're not selling them anymore because I guess they were jacking up the prices and got in trouble. And then I looked at Best Buy, and Best Buy had one version, which was the disc version with God of War Ragnarok.
Finding the digital version is almost impossible, but yeah,
for sale. That was it. So I was like, this is everywhere I've looked. This is the only place that's got it. So I'm just going to go get it now. So, because I've been waiting for a very long time. And now we got PlayStation 5 updates.
You do. So, PlayStation 5 version 7.0 update. It's going to include Discord and cloud streaming for PS5 games. We got what we think is a date for it. It's not official, but it's currently scheduled to be March 8th. So integrate your Discord into that. I don't use Discord that often. I use it sometimes for D&D, but there's other like chats that I use for stuff like that. It's just Discord has always just been one of those things. Like, I know it exists. I know it can be helpful. I know why people use it. I just don't like it. But yeah, full Discord integration, cloud streaming for PS5 games, which addresses that issue of, storage on the PS5, which is not good. It's very limited. The software, like to run the damn thing, takes up so much space, and the games are huge now. So it's either delete shit or get an external hard drive, and a lot of people don't like doing that. So this cloud streaming thing could be a alternative. It's just going to cost you some money. You got to pay more for your PS Plus subscription. Get the upper tier.
I feel like if I'm paying for a subscription, there should just be one subscription and it should have everything. I shouldn't have to pay for different tiers. I hate that tier-based system. Oh, we have all these fancy features, and if you want them, you can pay this much. But if you don't want to pay this much, then we'll take away all the cool shit and we'll just give you the basic package for this much, but you still got to pay us. Like, if PlayStation Plus was free like it used to be, and then they said, hey, we'll give you all this shit for this price, different story. But the fact that I have to pay for PlayStation Plus just to play multiplayer games or do anything, and then they're like, oh, and then we're going to cut you off here.
PlayStation Plus was never free.
Really?
Online was free. Playing online was free.
Yes.
But then PlayStation Plus became required in order to play online. That's what I meant. That's what changed. Like, PlayStation Plus was never free.
That's what I meant. If I could, that's the way I looked at it. But if I could still play online for free, and they're like, hey, if you want all this extra cool shit, pay a subscription. Cool, fine. But when they're like, if you want to play online, you have to pay us to play online.
Yeah, that's
when there are multiple. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, and then if you want more cool shit, you have to pay me more and more. It's like, fuck you. Like, they talked about before.
Well, it wasn't like, see, the thing is with that, they didn't take anything away. They added more stuff. That's the thing. It wasn't like they took stuff away and said, in order to get this cool shit, now you got to pay us more money. Like, no, they added more services. Like, oh, if you want this extra stuff that we're adding on, it's going to cost you more money. That makes sense to me.
Yes, except they made it so that you had to pay them to play online and play online with your friends.
Well, yeah, that part, yeah. That was shitty.
So that's what I'm saying. If it was free to play online and they're like, here's a subscription service and here's cool shit, I'd be cool with it. But when they said, hey, if you want to go play online and play with Travis, pay me first. So then I paid them and they're like, oh, now that you're paying me, pay me more and you can have more stuff. It's like, well, fuck you now.
And you say this as a person who plays on Xbox who has always had to pay to play online, but that's okay.
But I've always had to pay to play online.
So PlayStation matches that, and now you're upset. Got it.
Because you gave me something for free and then you took it away.
I know. I understand it. I just think it's funny. All right. What else we got here? Yesterday, I had a very lengthy conversation with Vince about Marvel Snap and how much I love it and all that. Are you aware of the Marvel Snap? Have you played any Marvel Snap?
No, I actually started reading the article that you posted, and it's a card game, right? Yeah. I've played some card games, not big on the card games.
This is different. I promise you. I promise you, it's different because I don't really dig on card games either. And I say this as someone who, when I first played Magic the Gathering, thought it was fucking awesome. And then I sat down and started playing it more, and I'm like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
But there's some new PvP stuff coming where you can actually match up against your friends now. At this point, it's like until this comes out, it's you just get randomly matched against somebody who's at your current level. this PvP thing is supposed to be like you can challenge your friends and go up against them head to head now. And the system that they're using, they're talking about putting in place for that, looks cool, seems cool. Right now, you're playing for what they call cubes, and getting more and more cubes is how you level up, and leveling up is how you get more stuff to get more cards and all that kind of stuff. This one you're playing for something else besides cubes. I don't remember what it is. Not about to read through this whole thing again, but it's a series of matches against your friends. You're playing for certain things, and the first to get to those certain amount of things wins that match. And it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun to play against your friends in this, like being able to like go straight head to head against a friend now. Like,
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I want to play against Vince right now. And yeah, I'm going to play against Vince. I'm going to record this match so I can put it on display and watch, so everybody can watch me whoop his ass. Like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to it. I am. I don't have any, good close personal friends who play Marvel Snap yet. Emphasis on the yet. I'm just saying, any of my friends out there that want to, hop on Marvel Snap and play, I'd be happy to play against you.
Anyone out there listening?
Anybody who can hear me at all,
Anybody can hear him.
Oh man, why do I keep forgetting to do this? Like,
do what?
Well, we went through all the news stories I got, and I forgot to let everyone know that this episode of the Creatia Conversation is brought to you by MySensualSecrets.com.
Well, generally, you don't forget when I'm on, because I have something sexual in nature or that leads into it. I don't think you guys did yesterday, and then today with all the D&D and the Marvel Snap and all that. Again, a little light on the. I guess we could have done it after we talked about anime nipples. That would have been a good time.
Could have. That was very early on in the episode, though.
Well, then we know people are still listening.
This is true. But yeah. Back to this, though. MySensualSecrets.com boasts one of the largest catalogs on the web across all the varying levels of adult toy categories, with toys for him, for her, and for both. The product line is extensive compared to other competitors in the sexual wellness industry. Orders ship within 24 hours, so customers are always satisfied with both the price and quality. MySensualSecrets.com has top-rated reviews and exceptional customer service. So go to sensual.creatiaworld.com to receive 10% off your order today. That is sensual.creatiaworld.com. Get 10% off today. And that's the ad read, people. I mean, normally I throw in some more stuff, just reminding you all the toys are the friend, not the enemy, I don't know if you're tired of hearing that yet, but it's true. It's true. As Kurt Angle would say, it's true.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
That angle?
No, I mirrored my camera just because I have this problem.
Wait, you don't normally mirror your camera?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I have this
That's
problem.
So weird.
That's why if you ever watch Smack and Raw, or like earlier when I was pointing at you on the screen, I was pointing the wrong way.
Well, yeah.
Because my screen wasn't mirrored, so when I point at what I thought was you on the screen, it actually points that way. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I was like, that way.
So I thought, oh, well, let me mirror the screen so that way when I want to point it, because I was like, you were doing My Sensual Secrets, and you're like, for him, for her, for both. And I want to be like, for him, for her, for both. But I was pointing the wrong way off screen, and I'm like, let me take a look. So yeah, this is actually the mirrored version of my room and the way things look. Like the wall's there. Like
yeah.
But I don't know if I like that angle.
But that's the thing. Like we see it the same way. It flips for for the viewer. It's just mirrored for us when you're looking at it.
Yeah, I like this better. I don't know. I think it looks better.
Like right now, what hand do I have up?
That would be your right hand.
Okay. See, but on the screen, from what I see, because it's mirrored, it looks like it's my left hand.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's not mirrored for everyone else. It's only mirrored for yourself.
Ah.
Yeah. Like right now, my shirt reads normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's backwards for me.
Now I wonder if mysensualsequence.com using that, if they have mirrors that you can use to attach, or if you have a mirror, you can buy sex toys to attach to that and, start an OnlyFans, take some videos of yourself doing some weird shit.
Exactly. You take a mirror, you put a suction cup dildo on it, and you back that ass up on it.
Film it, go to OnlyFans, make yourself some
Exactly.
money, buy yourself a PS5 or
Exactly.
$120 subscription to get cloud streaming.
Yes. Go to sensual.creatiaworld.com, get 10% off that suction cup dildo.
And then get paid.
Exactly. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we get out of here? There's, not much news, but some heavy news.
Well, we're on Twitch and YouTube, so not myself.
Well, no, I'm just talking, anything else that's happened that you want to talk about before we plug our shit and get out of here. That's it.
Not off the top of my head, no, not that I can think of. I will say you guys can come check us out every Friday, including tonight, live here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, doing Smack and Raw. So if you are a wrestling fan, we will be live. JJ, you literally just missed us. We talked about all the nerd shit. Also, you can check out facebook.com/group/Smack and Raw. Join the chat. It's really chill. A lot of just discussion, no animosity or hate. We had like one and we kicked the guy out, and it's been cool ever since. And that's in like the 7 years that it's been a thing.
I'm about to say, and that was years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like we're live every Friday talking wrestling. It'll be me and Vince tonight. There's a lot to talk about. New tag team, bangbros.com, of Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, as well as a bunch of other shit. It's going to be a fun time. So.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, like we mentioned earlier, thanks for watching. If you're watching live, appreciate it. And if you are, throw us a subscription, twitch.tv/Creatia World. Just throw a subscription our way. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming. And that way you can merge your Twitch and your Amazon together and you get a free subscription. You can throw that to us and, help us out. Give us the Amazon money, because Jeff Bezos is just sitting on it and swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck. And, I don't think that's okay. I think when you got all that money, you should give it to other people like me.
And they're fucked up because they don't just re-enable that subscription. You have to physically go do it.
Yeah, you have to redo it every month. If you don't
on a
use
computer. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you have to do it on your computer too. Well, the initial setup has to be done on the computer, I think. I don't know if the renewal does.
Every time I've tried to do anything with that from my phone, it does not do it. Even with the Amazon link to the account, it will not let me re-enable a subscription or use a subscription through with my Amazon on my phone. I have to do it on the computer.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually tried on the phone.
I do everything on my phone.
Yeah. I do a lot on my phone. I make our thumbnails and stuff on my phone. But yeah. Anyway, you can follow us on YouTube also, subscribe there, youtube.com/Creatia World. Also, if you're watching later and not watching live, definitely check us out on Pornhub at pornhub.com/model/Creatia World. We are the number one source for that nerdish news on Pornhub. All right. So go there. You can also check out Smacking It Raw there, the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Number one. Now, if you want to throw some support our way, we would really appreciate that. You can go to patreon.com/Creatia World. That's where you get all the extra stuff we do. Return to Wrestling with myself and the Warden Matt Ritter, where I make him watch old WCW stuff and I revel in his misery. The fun stuff happening now, though. We're in the midst of the NWO. He's enjoyed it. He just doesn't want to admit it out loud.
Some of it.
Also, we've got, Multiverse with myself and Mara the Shark Watkins, where we get to go back and look at a lot of the animated DC stuff. It's been a lot of fun. We'll probably look at other animated, comic book stuff too, because there's some Marvel animated stuff that's pretty fun. Let's see. We can get all our links on Linktree. There's, all the podcasts and all the video stuff and all that. But if you really want to get in there and see what we're all about, you can go to creatiaworld.com. All right. That's where you get all the info. That's where you find out who all of us are. You find out everything we do, all that shit. Now, if you want to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, it is at It's Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. As always, I'm not telling you how to spell world. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. And if you're just looking for me, you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mr. Ritter, where can they find you?
Twitter only at Matt Ritter. Is at MATTRIDDER. Or at Getting Off if you want to go check out some of the content that we do for our horror show, which will be making a comeback hopefully next weekend once I decide which one we're going to do. So
awesome.
That is the plan.
All right. I think that'll be it. That it for you? That's it for me.
I'm good.
All right. Well, then we'll see y'all on Monday. You'll see Matt tonight. Until then, we out.
Peace.